Welcome to CML Learn Stuff. Jane Austen, one of the greatest novelists in English literature, her novels offers a realistic depiction of life in English countryside and society during the late 18th century and early 19th century. Her novels exploring family dynamics, social interactions in different contexts, and also criticizing class structures, societal norms, and gender roles, mostly rural and middle class environment. In short, her novel is an actual depiction of 18th century or 19th century English society and everyday life. For example, her most famous Pride and Prejudice, a classic example of domestic novel which centers on the Bennet family and their interactions, expose the pressures of marriage, social class, and financial security for women in the early 18th century. Austen's domestic novel focused on everyday life, means everyday life's experiences and the social issues of ordinary people within the domestic or family atmosphere, and also emphasizes domestic spheres, marriage, and other connections are central to the narrative of Austen. Austen published a first impression but was rejected. Then she revised it into Pride and Prejudice. It's a masterpiece of social commentary. Then, Sense and Sensibility. She explores how unmarried women relied on male relatives for security. This novel considered the novel of manners and explored internal emotional conflict also. Marriage, class, personal growth are major themes of Pride and Prejudice, and its witty dialogue and feminist undertones. This novel considered one of literature's most beloved romances. Austen's Mansfield Park challenges conventional heroines' ideals and focusing on virtue over beauty, morality, social hierarchy, and education are major themes. Then, next famous novel, Emma, showcases Austen's skill in complex characters introspection. Then, her two unfinished works, The Waltzin and Sanderson, evolving her experimentation with social commentary and character development. So, all these works and her writing style influenced later novelists, and her works remain central to English literature and popular culture. Walter Scott, Scottish novelist and lawyer, pioneer of historical novel, a type of novel that blends historical events, settings, and characters with fictional narrative. The Lady of the Lake, his most famous narrative poem set in the Highlands, emphasizing nature and its beauty. Many critics praise its lyrical quality. Then, the Waverley novels, historical novel mixing with real events, and it shaped national identity and influenced later novelists like Balzac. Then his most famous or first historical novel blends Jacobite history with a personal adventure, which analyzed for its portrayal of cultural conflict and emerging Scottish nationalism. Scott's The Lay of the Last Minstrel is a romantic celebration of Scottish border legends, folklore, and oral tradition, and noted for its influence on reviving national myth-making and poetic narrative style. Marmion, poems dramatizing the Battle of Flodden, blends history with chivalric ideals and also focuses on its patriotic fervor and melodramatic characterization. Game Ring explores Scottish society, superstition, and the legal system, and also highlights its use of Gothic elements and social commentary. Then Ivanhoe, medieval historical novel set in England, focuses on its influence on Victorian medievalism and national myth. Then finally, Kenilworth, a historical novel analyzed for its dramatic structure and portrayal of power dynamics.